Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Oliver Wiedmaier at Ollie underscore all caps, founder of Voyage Trading Group. Today I'm going to go over my nighttime routine and show you exactly what it is I do to gauge the market and see what is happening today and the past few days to gauge my expectation for tomorrow and the rest of the week. And so the first thing I do is I try and train my eyes. This is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm looking for stocks that have bottomed and making a momentum leg one, pulls back, and then breaks out again. So what I'm doing in my nighttime routine is I'm trying to gauge what the stocks are looking like that have made this first leg and see how they acted before the breakout. And then the same thing here, stocks that have made a 20% plus momentum leg have pulled in and then have broken out, and then see how they acted before the breakout so I can try to replicate that in the next couple of sessions. So what I'm doing is I'm just gauging and seeing how stocks are acting right now and see if I can replicate that in future trading sessions. And so the first thing I always do is look at the NASDAQ. We did have three big gap ups, a lot of momentum coming up. So we are going to possibly pause for a few days and then trade maybe possibly down into some of the moving averages and then hopefully springboard into new highs. So what I do is I am going to run a week up 20% scan. And so I do this every single day. Its average volume for 30 days is 300,000. Weekly performance is 20, and the price is above 20. And what I'm looking for is stocks that have made a momentum leg, a 20+% in a few days, and then see if I can train my eyes so that if I see that for the rest of the week, I will know that it's working and I will be able to replicate the trade. I'm going to filter based on volume. And I'm not going to go through all 90 names. I'm just going to show you a condensed version so that you can see how it is that I conduct my nighttime routine. So you can see here we had a momentum phase, pulls back, and then we has this big 17% day, closes above the 50-day. And if you would have took that trade at close, you could have made 35% or so. A stop at half the day would have been 6% perhaps. You would have made 5 times your R on that. And that is a good trade. So if we see something like this happening, if we see this big candle that closes right on the 50-day, then we know that it is possible that we could replicate that. And so we'll just keep on going through. And the idea here is to just familiarize ourselves with what's happening right now and see if we can repeat it and train our eyes so we can quickly spot. We see we had a big gap up, 2 days tight, and then this is the breakout. Okay? The breakout is not the follow through. This is the breakout. This is not the breakout. So again, let's keep this image in our mind, and as we go through, we will see if we can have a similar trade. The idea is for this to be very quick. We don't want to spend too much time. We just want to see what is happening today in the past few days and see if we can, again, this is moving up. No trade here. It would need a gap up, move sideways, and then go up. This is just in a momentum phase, and so we want the momentum phase to pass us. We don't want to be late to the party and then have the cops come. We want to get out before the cops come. We want to join the party once we know everyone has arrived. This is a good setup here. Had to see earnings. So I have to see what happens with the earnings. And we're just going to keep on going. Another earnings. And typically what happens is you have a lot of these really big um, bars here because they made big moves on high volume. And so again, we want to start training our eyes so that we can see these patterns repeat themselves over and over and over again. And I'm not seeing too much. This is telling me that maybe it's time to back out of the market some and maybe either trade less or not trade at all. This is a nice breakout here. You had these 2 days tight here. Trading sideways here. I'm not seeing too much. Here, 2 days tight, and then we had a good entry here, 60% if you caught the middle of the day. Very good trade there. Right, so does this look familiar? Could we see that this trades sideways and then if this breaks out, that could be a good entry? Now, why wouldn't I put this on a watch list? Well, so what happens for me is if this gets put on a watch list and then immediately it takes out the high of the day, I'm going to assume that it's going to work, and so I'm going to enter even though that candle might not qualify as a proper breakout. And so what I do is I just keep my eye on it, but I'm not using it as a watch list type name because I inherently have a bias, and I'm trying to avoid just buying stocks that only meet a few of my criteria. I'm trying to have the stocks meet all of my criteria, and the first criteria of my criteria is the breakout candle. And so it needs to come out on a breakout scanner rather than me just hoping that the candle is a breakout candle. Trading sideways here. This looks pretty good. This looks really good here, possibly into earnings. How could we have caught that? This is exhaustion. This doesn't really have a big thrust, so we probably would not have taken that. This is moving. This is probably going to sell into earnings. But how could we have caught this move? So this is a perfect example of the point of this exercise. You have 2 days tight here. You have this big candle here. Most people wouldn't trade this because it's up 12%. But let's say it was here at $20, right? Could you have taken that? It would have been up 8% on the day, taken out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 prior closes. It would have had the high volume. You could have put a stop loss at half the day, 4%, and then you could have made 32. That's a good trade. So this is something that we are needing to do to train our eyes, and that's the point of this whole exercise, to see what's happening and see if we can train our eyes. So typically, something like this would never in a million years be on your watch list. But if you're using a scanner instead of a watch list, and this happens, I've seen this before. If I take it, I could make a significant move to the upside. It doesn't take a lot of these to really start pushing your account fast and growing your account really fast. So this is a great example of the methodology behind doing this exercise. Same exact thing. This is a perfect example. This stock would never in a million years be on any watch list, right? You have the exhaustion selling. It just would never be on a watch list. But if you're scanning for breakouts, this took out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 highs. Okay. Closes near the high, closes at the 80%, 79%. And then it goes on huge momentum phase, over 200%. Okay. So we're gonna move on to the next scanner, but this is exactly, here's one last example. You have this exhaustion selling here, exhausting selling, a little bit of a bounce, failed bounce, but then let's use this one as a better entry here. Let's say you buy this because you have two tight closes here. Let's say you bought the high there. You still could have made 25%. Half the day would have been 4. Okay, that's 5. That's 5 are your risk. 5 times your risk. And again, who's putting this on their watch list for a reversal bounce? Nobody. Okay, so that is the first part of this exercise. The second part is to look at today's breakouts to see if anything broke out and if we can see it come out and try to replicate it. So this is the 4% combo breakout. I did kind of add this common stock filter here just to try to limit the number of stocks that come up. Volume 100,000, change is 0.9, price is $3. Percent change is 4, and I want only stocks that are trading up on the day, so open is below the price. And again, we're going to go with filter from volume, and then we'll see what broke out today, and then see if we can. So today G-Sun had this big breakout, which we've just did an exercise to see that this could work, right? 2 tight closes after this kind of exhaustion. This would have been the better entry, but this again is just something that we are doing to as an exercise. And this is how I'm training my eyes. This is how I'm getting familiar with what is working right now, what is not working right now. And I find that to be a much better way to spend my nighttime routine rather than trying to find setups for tomorrow. I wanted to get familiar with what's happening right now in real time and try to replicate it. And again, my criteria for a breakout is a big range expansion after 2 days tight, after a 2 to 7 day consolidation with a 20% leg up. So we will see. This is too much of a base, although this is a decent breakout, but this is too much of a base. I want a tighter base than that. And we'll just quickly go through. Not seeing a whole lot. Market is pretty choppy, and I think we need more time. So another point of this exercise is now I'm not feeling like there's like a lot of great things happening, so I might want to trade a little bit less, or maybe not trade at all. Earnings. No, this is not tight. When I say 2 days tight, this is not tight. This is intentional selling. We don't want intentional selling on this type of move. When we are looking for the reversal, yes, we want intentional selling, right? Orderly selling. But when we are looking for a continuation, we want the continuation to be more like that. But for the reversal, yeah, we want something like that. We'll just keep on going through. Not a whole lot going on. This was good here. Now, was that 2 days tight there? Yes, it's 3 days tight here. You have Doesn't really fit the 20% criteria, but this is a decent breakout. Continuation breakout. But unfortunately, we're not seeing a whole lot, which means that the market, we need to let the market get a little bit more tight. Okay. One last thing that we can do is look at no, we'll look at 1 month high, and this will just we'll filter this by year to date. And what we'll do here is just to see if we can find any setups that have worked in the past, completed. So this would have been, this is going to show the full picture of the completion of the breakout. So this was a good breakout here. A little bit long consolidation here, but this was in response to the earning. So that was actually a pretty good breakout. And we'll just keep going through. Good breakout here. Good breakout here. Nice, very tight action here, and then you have this big breakout. And then you have 3 to 4 days of continued buying. Again, we are not seeing a whole lot here, which just keeps me out of the market a little bit longer. Ideally, we'd want to see stocks that have already done their continuation breakout and are either setting up for a second leg, or this isn't too bad, but this isn't as narrow as you'd like to see it. And so this is just telling me that the market is just not in favor right now, and it could be in more favor for our particular setup. So this is a good breakout here, but this does not fit our criteria. This would have fit our criteria. So if you would have entered there, you could have made 61%. That's a pretty crazy move there in just a few days. That was a good breakout right there. I rather it, fade a little bit more, pause a little bit better. Ideally, what we want to see is something like this. We want to see the stock bounce, make that first leg, go sideways for 2 to 7 days, and then continue the momentum. And so we're not really seeing that right now. And so I'm going to call it off. I'm done. I've seen all I needed to see. I don't, I'm not thrilled about the market right now. And so instead of spending, trying to find stocks to trade tomorrow, I'm going to go into tomorrow expecting my scanners not to really hit very strong. And then ideally I sit on my hands and I don't make or lose any money. And so that's the name of the game. And I will do this every single night. I run those scans, get a feel for how stocks are handling this kind of bottom bounce and how stocks are breaking out. And the idea here is to train my eyes to see what's happening, the feel of the market for my edge, and is it working or is it not working? I'm also looking at the big gap ups. It's earnings season, so are stocks respond? Are we seeing a lot of stocks that are doing this? Because if stocks are doing this, then you have more confidence to buy on the first day of the gap up. And if stocks aren't doing this, then we know that maybe it is not gapped up below the 50-day, right? So you have to remember that whenever you're buying anything. I did buy this yesterday. No follow through under the 50-day. I did take a peel up here and then broke even right here. And then took this. But again, no follow through. So right now, the continuation or the bottom bounce sort of momentum burst edge might be out of favor a little bit. And so I'm more prepared now going into tomorrow's session, seeing the past couple of days and today's actions. So thanks for listening. If you have any questions, feel free to hit me up on Twitter or the Discord or my email. Thank you.